Imagine this. You're 5 years old. You live in a tiny house. No running water, no electricity. 8 people in 2 rooms. And the only real toy you have is a deflated soccer ball. But somehow, you turned that into magic. That was Diego Maradona. Hey friends, welcome back to our channel. I'm Nathan. So this is an English shadowing exercise. To get value from it, you must practice, not just listen. Listen carefully. Pause when you need. Try to repeat each sentence out loud. The sentences in this story are kept simple and clear, so they're easier to follow and shadow as you listen. Don't stress about being perfect. Progress comes from repetition, not perfection. So let's start. Born in 1960, just outside Buenos Aires, Villa Fiorito, one of the poorest places in Argentina. The streets were dusty, the homes were stacked like bricks, but the kids, they played like it was the World Cup. Maradona was different though. At age 3, he already had crazy balance. At 5, he was juggling oranges and rolled up socks. And by 8, people were showing up just to watch him play. One day, he walked into a youth club called Argentinos Juniors. Barefoot, skinny, hair too long. But once he touched the ball, the coaches froze. They gave him a size 5 ball, too big for him. He juggled it like a balloon. Then they gave him a golf ball. Same story. He was juggling it like it was nothing. They signed him on the spot. From that day, he trained every day. Morning, night, rain, heat. He was still a little kid, but you couldn't take the ball from him. He once said, "The ball is my best friend. I treat it with love." And that love, it showed. By the time he was 10, he was already famous in the neighborhood. By 12, he was playing halftime shows at pro games. Crowds came early just to watch the kid warm up. At 15, Diego Maradona made his professional debut. 15, the smallest guy on the field, but also the smartest. He didn't just move fast, he thought fast. His vision was unreal. His dribbles felt like tricks. Defenders fell trying to stop him. By 16, he was a regular starter. He was scoring goals, making plays, and pulling his team out of bad situations every week. Reporters started following him around. Fans started calling him El Pibe de Oro, the Golden Boy. And even though he was just a teenager, you could already tell he wasn't scared of the spotlight. He liked the pressure. But there was one thing still out of reach: the Argentina national team. At 17, he was left off the roster for the World Cup, even though he was already the best young player in the country. He cried, not because he was spoiled, but because the dream was right there, and someone said no. But that no, it pushed him even harder. In 1981, he joined Boca Juniors. That's like going from backyard football straight into the biggest stadium in the country. Packed crowds, wild fans, no space to breathe. But Diego made it look easy. He scored in his debut match. He dribbled through defenders like they were practice cones. And in his first season with Boca, he helped them win the league. By now, he wasn't just a local hero. He was a national icon. Kids copied his haircut. Grown men wore his jersey to church. He was 21, and the world was watching, especially Europe. In 1982, Diego signed with FC Barcelona. The transfer fee? A world record? $5 million for a kid from the slums of Buenos Aires. The pressure was insane. But again, he didn't blink. In his very first season, he won the Copa del Rey. He was scoring, dancing past defenders, and causing chaos in every game. But Barcelona wasn't easy. He dealt with injuries. He got into a brutal fight in a cup final, one that turned into a full-on brawl. He clashed with management, the culture, the cold European lifestyle. After 2 seasons, it was over. And just when it looked like things were falling apart, Naples called. And what happened next is one of the craziest love stories in sports history. In 1984, Maradona signed with Napoli, a team that had never won the league, a city that felt more like South America than Italy. Loud, poor, proud. The north of Italy looked down on them, called them dirty, backward. But when Maradona arrived, Naples exploded. Thousands filled the airport. People climbed buildings just to see his car go by. And at the stadium, over 70,000 fans for a presentation, not a match, just to welcome him. It was love at first sight. And Maradona gave them everything. Goals, magic, wins. He played like he had a fire inside him, like every touch was personal. Napoli didn't just improve, they rose. By 1987, they won the league for the first time ever. Then they won the cup, then the UEFA Cup. It wasn't just football anymore. It was identity. Poor Naples had their hero, and he destroyed the rich teams from the north. To the fans, Maradona wasn't a player. He was a god. They painted murals of him. They named babies after him. They made church candles with his face on them. But this fame, it came with a price. Off the field, things got messy. Maradona was partying more. Cocaine became a regular thing. He had connections with Naples' mafia. They protected him, but also trapped him. By day, he was a champion. By night, he was slipping. He had an affair. A son was born, but he refused to admit it for years. Still, on the pitch, he kept showing up. He never hid from the game, even when his body was in pain, even when he was high, because deep down, football was still the one place where he felt free. This is the part most people remember. Mexico, summer, 1986. Maradona at his absolute peak. He carried Argentina through the group stage. Then came the quarterfinal. Argentina versus England. It wasn't just a game. This was 4 years after the Falklands War. Tension was everywhere. Then, the 2 most famous goals in football history. First, the hand of God. Maradona jumped for a loose ball and punched it into the net. The ref missed it. Goal stood. Maradona smiled and later said, "It was a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God." 4 minutes later, the second goal. He picked up the ball at midfield, turned, ran, and in 11 seconds beat 5 English players. It was unreal. FIFA later called it the goal of the century. Even people who hated him had to admit that was genius. Argentina went on to win the final. Maradona lifted the trophy. And the image of him, arms up, face glowing, that's frozen in time. That was his masterpiece. After the World Cup, Maradona was everywhere. TV, newspapers, commercials. He was rich, worshipped, untouchable. But that kind of fame? It eats people alive. He kept playing for Napoli. He won another league title in 1990. But his body was slowing down. The nights were getting longer, the pressure heavier, and soon the crash was coming. By 1991, everything caught up to him. Cocaine, stress, secrets. It all blew up at once. Maradona failed a drug test. Not for painkillers, not for something mild. Cocaine. He was banned from football for 15 months. No games, no Napoli, no Argentina. Just headlines. Paparazzi followed him everywhere. One day, he walked out of his house and punched a reporter in the face. It was chaos. Napoli dropped him. He left Italy broke, addicted, and angry. That was the end of an era, but not the end of Maradona. In '94, he came back to play for Argentina at the World Cup. He was 33, older, heavier, but still dangerous with the ball. In the first game, he scored. Left foot rocket. He screamed at the camera, eyes wild. People thought he was back. Then, another drug test. This time for ephedrine. Banned again. That image of him being led off the field by a nurse? That was the last time he played for Argentina. He cried on national TV. Said they took the game away from him. Said it was a conspiracy. Maybe it was, maybe not. But either way, the dream was over. After football, Maradona's life went off the rails. He tried coaching, but couldn't focus. He gained weight. His face got puffy. He had a heart attack in 2004. Doctors said he almost died. He went to Cuba for rehab, hung out with Fidel Castro, even got a tattoo of Che Guevara on his arm. He was still a star, but a broken one. The drugs kept pulling him back. So did the people. Everyone wanted a piece of Maradona, but nobody could save him, not even himself. In 2008, out of nowhere, he became Argentina's head coach. People were shocked. He had no real coaching resume. But the players? They respected him. He brought fire, emotion, but not much tactics. In the 2010 World Cup, Argentina looked strong at first. Then they got crushed by Germany, 4-0. Maradona was fired. He walked off, crying again. The game that once loved him now kept pushing him away. In his final years, Maradona became something else. Not just a retired player, not just a former star. He became a symbol. Of what? That depends who you ask. Some saw a genius destroyed by fame. Others saw a hero who spoke for the poor. Some just saw the greatest footballer of all time. He coached a few smaller teams, lived in Dubai for a while, then Mexico, then Argentina again. Wherever he went, cameras followed. Fans cried when they saw him. They reached out like he was holy. He'd sign autographs, take selfies, bless babies, and curse out reporters all in the same hour. That was Maradona. Pure chaos. Pure love. As he got older, the damage showed. His knees were shot. His liver was weak. Years of addiction had taken a toll. In 2020, he had brain surgery to remove a blood clot. The surgery went well, but the recovery didn't. He started having heart issues. His body was giving out. On November 25th, 2020, he died in his sleep. Heart failure. Age 60. The country froze. People ran into the streets crying. 3 days of national mourning. Tens of thousands lined up to see his coffin. Some tried to climb the walls just to get close. Argentina didn't lose a player. They lost a piece of themselves. You can argue about who was better. Pele, Messi, Ronaldo. But Maradona? He was different. He wasn't clean. He wasn't perfect. He was raw, flawed, but real. He played like a street kid who never forgot where he came from. He fought for the ball, fought for his country, fought for love. And when he fell, it was never quiet. Even in death, he remains a legend. Not just for goals, but for what he meant to Naples, to Argentina, to the world. One last thing. Maradona once said, "If I die, I want to be born again, and I want to be a footballer, and I want to be Diego Armando Maradona again." Looks like he got his wish. If you completed this shadowing exercise, you're doing it right. This is how fluency is built. Repetition and consistency. Keep shadowing like this, stay consistent, and your English will improve naturally. If this video helped you, I'd appreciate a like or a subscribe.